Brought to you by the $Every app. Start budgeting for free today.
I'm supposed to get married here in a couple of weeks.
Ooh.
Okay.
Congrats.
Thanks there. But yikes, kind of. And it has mainly to do with kids. I've got kids and how my new wife interacts. I guess the question being, how much does my new wife have say-so into how I raise my kids, spend money on my kids, and that type of thing? Because I'm really kind of struggling with it.
All right, real quick question, because my colleague is loaded up, ready to go. I want to know this. How long have you two been dating?
2 years.
2 years. And in the 2 years, has there been moments of tension based on her maybe stepping into some situations that the kids weren't really cool with, or you weren't cool with, or there have been some comments? I'm just giving you what I mean when I say moments. Have there been several moments of tension that lead to this concern?
There's enough.
I knew the answer to that.
Man.
Yeah, my friend.
Yeah.
I would just say this. This needs to be settled in premarital counseling stat.
How old are the kids?
Immediately.
They're not young, and so I got 2 in college. I have one that's a teenager.
Well, the 2 in college, that's a non-factor. She doesn't get to say anything about that.
And how old's the teenager?
She's 16, but for example, like when the subject comes up, and I don't like saying this, and I know it's probably wrong, but I say I'm a dad first if you make me choose. Is that a wrong thing to say?
Yes.
Yeah, because you're treating it like she's expendable, and technically, now I know this is different, and I am going to step lightly on this, but typically when you get married, it's the marriage first.
That's why I said what I said.
And then it's the kids. Now, also traditionally, the person you're married to is the person you've had children with. So it's easier to make that statement. And I want to hang out there. It is easier to make that statement when that's the case. In your case, I don't think it makes it any less true, but I think it makes it more difficult to stand on that. Ken?
I agree. I'm going to default to, you called us because you've got some real fear. And I'm glad you called us. If for no other reason than I'm telling you as a guy who went through premarital counseling, and I've been married 26 years, long enough to know that had Stacey and I not been on the same page about the major things, I don't know that we're here.
Same.
Yes. And so I'm just saying that, Matthew, you need to invest time and money into premarital counseling to sit with a professional therapist and get this stuff out on the table. Like, you've got to say, she has created this tension here. I feel like she stepped over here. She needs to be able to say, I didn't like it when you said I'm a dad first. Like, we got to get this all out before we lock in.
And then there's the kids side of this too.
There is the kid side of it, but they got to solve it between the two of them first. You got to know what life is going to look like day one. Now, we manage those decisions after that.
She's nice to my kids. That's not it. But we're kind of different when things come up like, well, I go, she's like, well, if they're 22, they're going to be on their own. Like, I'm like, well, yeah, but I sure hope so. But what if something happens and they need to move back in? You know, that kind of thing. And
again,
those things come up. Or are you going to pay for their master's degrees too, instead of us going to Hawaii for vacation? I'm like, well, wait a minute. Okay,
so she's got to realize that there's a whole life here, and there's other people.
These are good questions.
She's marrying into the family, not just you. And that's the case with anybody. You marry into the family, you marry into the situation, whatever it is. So I think that you guys, Ken is right. There's a lot that must be discussed before this happens.
And Matthew, look.
I only got 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Well, you know what? Is this a big fancy wedding when we got a lot of people coming and a lot of money being spent?
No, but I can't move it. It's not moving. So
you know what?
I appreciate Matthew. He's going, listen, Ken, I know where you're going, pal. I don't want to walk down that path.
I would.
I'd press pause.
I would, because what I don't want, I would never want you to feel like you don't have a choice, or like once the wheels are in motion, you can't put a wood stick in it and grind it to a halt. You can. You have choices still. You have a lot less choices once you say I do.
I agree. I'd get a session in at least and talk about these majors. I really would before the wedding. But can I also say that if she says, hey, are you going to pay for their master's degree or are we going to go to Hawaii? The answer is, where is my grass skirt? That's what the answer is. The kids can pay for their master's degree. Go with mama to Hawaii, man.
Aloha.
Come on.
I thought you were going in a different direction with
no,
that.
Kids need to pay for their own masters.
No, I'm glad you did. I'm glad you said what you said.
This is the Ramsey Show.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.